Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one. The greatest NBA dual dynasties of all time. Let me give it to you one more time. The greatest NBA dual dynasties of all time. So this is going to be about two players on the team that achieved a dynasty, right? Two great players. But first, let me get into this real quick. I hear a lot of people leaving comments, crying, telling me, why am I doing this? Oh, you hating on LeBron, all this stuff, telling me I'm just a hater. I ain't got no facts, all this nonsense. Let me tell you something. In 2016, it was Nick Wright that made it cool to start lying about the facts, about the history of the NBA. Shannon Sharp continued that. Colin Cowherd, he jumped aboard because we know when he was at ESPN, he was a Michael Jordan fan, right? Suddenly he goes over to Fox, which is owned by Disney, and they own ESPN too. I won't talk about it. You can watch another video that I put on that one recently, about a week ago. So suddenly it just made it cool to start hating on Michael Jordan. And then it really could not make any sense, right? When you watch his game, when you look at his stats, when you look at his awards and all this stuff. So if you would just hate on him single-handedly, you would look like a buffoon, right? So it won't make any sense. Now you would have to start cutting down the 90s, the 80s, get his teammates in a feud. Because I'd never heard before him and Scottie Pippen fighting before. When? The documentary, right? And Scottie Pippen, he approved and signed off on that documentary, right? The Last Dance. Scottie Pippen, they showed the whole documentary to Scottie Pippen before they put it out, and he approved it, right? So what was he mad about? And I think, like a lot of people, right? I think they had to get the approval for everybody that was in that documentary, maybe. I'm not for sure. But I know Scottie Pippen, he seen it, he signed off on it. So why was he so mad all of a sudden in 2020 after the documentary? Because before that, it was all love with Michael Jordan. He was pretty much pissing on LeBron James. He would never take LeBron James in any game, right? Over Michael Jordan. That's what he said. He said LeBron is not the player that Michael Jordan is. Not the cold killer, nothing, right? And then after the documentary, who's paying him? Clutch Sports? And we all know that, Nick Wright done came out and said he's affiliated with Clutch Sports. Well, he's a Clutch Sports agent. So LeBron is literally paying people to lie. People like Perk, a lot of people on ESPN payroll. And I put a video out on Clutch Sports, and I think I'm gonna do another one, okay? An updated version, because this is sick right here. You're actually paying people on Fox and ESPN to talk on your behalf. They can't talk on your behalf based on what you did, the player you are, the person you are. You have to actually pay these people. So in reality, right, it's all fake. They don't feel this way about you, right? Because we got most of your dudes like Shannon Sharp, Nick Wright in tweets in the past. Shannon Sharp, Colin Cowherd. Most of these people that say today LeBron is the GOAT or number two, I can guarantee you they're paying Chris Broussard too and Rob Parker, because there's no way they think this guy is number two all time, right? Jumping team to team, super team to team, all these meltdowns, the meltdowns. If you see my video, the top 12 LeBron career meltdowns, go look at this. This guy literally in a row melted down from '04 all the way until 2011 every single year. Go check out that video. You know, they were making fun of this dude, calling him names. LeBrig, Stephen A. Smith was giving him the business. Everybody was cracking up. They said he was a choke artist. He couldn't shoot. Right after 2010, when he lost in the playoffs, the second time after having the number one seed and back-to-back MVPs. Right. Then you go build a super team. You're disqualified. Stephen A. Smith. Everybody said that was the weakest move ever. And he did it. So how is that not even talked about now? They act like it didn't happen because the guy lost 2 of 4 finals. So let's go ahead and get into this right here. The greatest NBA dual dynasties of all time. To me, and look, I'm going to do a video, the greatest teams of all time. Okay, because I don't know if these are the greatest teams of all time in this order, but to me, these are the greatest duels, dynasties of all time. So we already know the Bulls, Michael Jordan and Pippen went to 6 finals, right? And won all 6. They won all 6. 6-0, didn't even see a game 7 in the 90s. Jordan, both of them played together. Well, Pippen played an extra year, right? So in that time period, actually playing together, they won 6 championships out of 8 years, right? But they won 6 out of 6, undefeated. That's the greatest dynasty duel of all time. Okay, you guys are gonna have to keep up on this because don't get your numbers mixed up about how many finals he went to, because he went to more finals than this. So him and Cousy, they went to 7 finals and won 6. Him and Cousy, right? So to me, they're the second greatest dual dynasty of all time. Magic Johnson and Kareem, they went to 8 finals together, okay, and won 5. They won 5. To me, they can qualify for the best team of all time, but that's coming up. That's a whole different video, okay? That's a whole different video. We go to Tony Parker and Tim Duncan, right? What did they do? They went to 5 finals together and won 4. So they lost 1. In most of these dynasty duels, you notice they reign supreme in a decade or half a decade. And like I said, to be a dynasty, you have to at least win 3. And they got to be close together. I think Tim Duncan and Tony Parker, what did they do? They did 3. What they did? 3, 5, and 7. So that's 3 right there. And then they did the 2014, whooping on LeBron. They whooped up on LeBron twice. And then you have Curry, and then you have Clay, right? We're not going to put Durant. Durant can't be in this. Durant only won 2. And to me, when we get to greatest teams of all time, Durant's not going to be in there. Because he wasn't there for 3. He didn't win 3 championships, and he didn't win, of course, 4 that they won. So they went to 6 finals, and they won 4. Right? And they beat the mess out of LeBron twice. And don't tell me, oh, that's because of Durant. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about that. Because when he went to Miami and then he tried to start another super team, look, he got beat in 2015. And you guys say, oh, if he would have had Kyrie and Love, He was just about to get stomped out again in 2016. He was down 3-1. Right? It took for Green to get suspended and stuff like that for him to start this comeback. He was about to get curb stomped again. And then we got Shaq and we got Kobe. They went to 4 finals and they won 3. If I'm not mistaken, they lost one, right? Yeah. Yeah. They went to 4 finals and they lost and they won 3. We go to Bird and McHale. They went to 5 finals and won 3. So people are going to have questions. They're going to say, why do you put Shaq over Bird and McHale? Well, Shaq and Kobe, they won a three-peat, right? They won a three-peat. I'm not trying to say their competition was more fierce than Boston's competition, but they still won a three-peat. And people might say, oh, they should be higher then. No. They're not going no higher than that. If they would have won 4, I mean, they underachieved because of Shaq. He was lazy. He was pretty much lazy. And let's be honest, once he got in the finals, he had no competition. And that's why Kobe, especially the second championship and third championship, Kobe could have scored like 35 a game. But Phil Jackson ain't no dummy. He's not going to have somebody shooting on the perimeter when nobody can stop this guy, Shaq. Now, if they was maybe playing Hakeem or somebody like that, maybe it would have been different. Maybe a David Robinson, maybe it would have been different. Maybe you would have need Kobe more. But the fact that people always say, oh, Shaq carried Kobe, that's not a carry job. Shaq didn't have no opponent to play. He just ragdolled every opponent. Mutombo was a great blocker, right? But Shaq, he was like 100 pounds more than him. And Mutombo was on his way out. This wasn't 90s Mutombo. I think Alonzo Mourning would have gave him more problems if he was younger. Hakeem, we already know Hakeem would have, right? If Hakeem was younger. So the whole thing about, Kobe carried Shaq. Jordan carried Pippen, right? Carried Pippen way more than Kobe got carried. There was nobody at that time when the 2000s hit. No more great centers. And we saw that going into the early 2000s. It was pretty much over for the great centers, right? Hopefully they come back. Look like they might come back. Got Joel Embiid, Joker, and we got another one coming in from France. He's almost like Wemby. So Wemby's here. People might want to know where I'm going to put, Tony Parker and Duncan over Curry and Clay. Well, I just got to do it. I think they were more dominant as a team in the 2000s. I think the competition was better in the early 2000s. They kept playing LeBron. I don't think LeBron's team was any competition, right? Especially in 2018 and then in 2015. That wasn't great competition. Now I would like to see them play each other in their primes. That would be interesting because those teams are more about fundamentals, right? Passing the ball, skills, and stuff like that. It's not based on athleticism. And that's pretty much the order. Nobody's gonna come Third except for Magic, Kareem. We already know what they did. That was incredible, what they did. I mean, they could have had more championships. Um, Cousy and Bill Russell, they're gonna stay right there. They're gonna stay right there. You already know what they did. And then Jordan and Pippen, forget about it. Two three-peats. Two three-peats. Cousy and Bill Russell didn't do two three-peats. And they didn't see a game seven. And to me, if Pippen never got hurt in what, 90s, I think, what was it, 97 and 98? They might have been the greatest team of all time. They might have been the greatest team of all time to me. I don't think they are, but I think they would have. Because when you look at Ron Harper, Dennis Rodman, Michael Jordan, and Pippen, they shut the whole league down for 3 years on a three-peat. They shut them down. They shut them down defensively. Okay, and this is what happens when the NBA does stupid stuff like outlaw defense in 2005. Now, it's not good for LeBron because he's not a great offensive player. Yes, he can dunk and do layups and, build muscle to bull charge and stuff like that. But the bigger this guy got, the worse his shooting got because you can't be that big and be a shooter. I just don't think so. Especially a perimeter shooter. That's a whole different story. But yeah, the Bulls, I think, would have been the greatest team of all time. They did do a three-peat with these guys, but I think they could have won 72 games in that second three-peat every year if Pippen didn't get hurt. I mean, can't really say nothing. The guy played a lot of games. He played the bad boy Pistons, then came into the 90s, did a three-peat, kept playing without Jordan, and Jordan came back. They did another three-peat. So the guy was playing a lot of minutes. He was playing a lot of physical basketball. And Pippen, he wasn't a big guy. He was skinny. He was skinny. I mean, he was athletic. And he needed to be skinny because he was like really athletic. But man, if that guy would have not have got hurt, that defense, nobody's what team can I think that had a defense like that ever? Nobody. That's why I said in my past videos, if LeBron played any kind of defense and he was just a good defender, he didn't have to be a great defender, 6'9", 270, 50, whatever. And he shut Durant down in those Warrior series, they would have won. Little skinny Durant. He was skinnier back then than he is now. But LeBron, he wanted to do what? I want to get rebounds and assists. Man, are you playing the forward position or are you playing the guard position? We need you to do what's best for the team. Nobody can shut Kevin Durant down except for you, right? You said you could play 1 through 5 or guard 1 through 5 too, right? You said you can guard 1 through 5, but you can't go and shut Kevin Durant down. And that's the challenge you should have took. Yeah, you was playing him a lot of time, but you wasn't trying to shut this guy down. You was just playing him. Oh yeah, he shot a shot, you just had your hand up. There's no way, if you're more athletic and you're an athletic freak, that you couldn't shut this little bony dude down. It's ridiculous. D him up. Even if you couldn't shut him down to, 10 points a game, shake him up. Put something on him that he never seen. You got to be the difference. But he didn't care. He just came off the 2016 win, right? Greatest of all time. As long as he had that, he didn't care. So he didn't want to cover Kevin Durant. So tell me what you guys think. If you agree with this, I think it's pretty plain and simple and clear. Let me know.